The second big game from the November 21st drop for me to talk about is Onyanko TOWN. Onyanko TOWN is the final game that I'd consider to be a maze chase game on the Famicom. But that's not why it's significant. Onyanko TOWN is the first game from unfortunately prolific 8-bit publisher Pony Canyon. They're best known for not especially good ports of computer games, especially Western RPGs. The thing is, Pony Canyon's primary business wasn't in making video games. They were a record label first, and in 1985, their biggest act was Onyanko Club. They were one of those giant pop groups consisting entirely of teenage girls. Onyanko doesn't mean anything, by the way, but nyan is the Japanese onomatopoeia for a cat's meow, and the ko in Onyanko Club is the character for child, so kitty or any diminutive pet name for a cat would be a good approximation. In Onyanko TOWN, Mother Cat Milky has lost her kitten Michael, the name Michael presumably being taken from a comic strip cat that was very popular in 1985. Michael is wandering the streets of the city somewhere, and it's up to Milky to find him and bring him home. However, there are dogs and cars roaming the streets, and Milky will have to dodge them to get Michael back. So Michael is dropped at a random spot in every map when you start the stage. Milky starts from the house, which gets marked with a little cat symbol, and you just have to wander these sprawling maps until you locate him. Milky has a couple of abilities to help her out. The A button can jump, and that will get you over physical obstacles, but it's not a good idea to jump over enemies. They can turn around instantly. The other ability is that she can open manholes. The thing is, you don't have to be standing next to them. Pressing the B button opens the first manhole in your line of sight, no matter how far away it is. If a dog drops down a manhole, you can press B again to close it up after them. Naturally, you get more points the more dogs you stick down in the sewers. So let's say you've wandered the maze and found Michael. Well, now you have two new problems. Picking him up slows Milky's movement speed to a crawl, and she can no longer jump. So you stop being able to outrun the dogs, and you can't get over physical obstacles to get away from them. The number of dogs in the maze increase over time. So if you take a long time to find Michael, who is randomly placed in the maze, then you can have a real tough walk back to your house with him. There's nothing like approaching the corner to turn to your house and seeing a dog walk in from the edge of the screen that you'll never be able to avoid. Milky can also pick up these fish that are found around town. She becomes supercharged after eating one and can walk through the dogs, knocking them out temporarily. However, a fishmonger starts chasing her because apparently Milky sets a bad example for her child and steals the fish. The fishmonger will chase you for quite a while, and he closes the manhole covers that he comes across. Milky can also still get run over by cars or fall down open manholes when she's charged up by the fish. Michael, on the other hand, is completely invulnerable to everything. The other dangerous obstacle is that sometimes when you open a manhole, a snake will emerge. That snake will follow you forever, too. There's 4 maze layouts in Onyanko TOWN. However, the difficulty caps out at the 8th level. I tried a few different strategies looking for some good gameplay tips to give people here. The appearance of the dogs is just too random, though. I tried opening every single manhole and leaving it open, thinking I could clear a path when I was carrying Michael back. I also tried jumping to maximize the distance between myself and dogs. There's one more big thing to mention about Onyanko TOWN. That's the music. Despite being published by a record label, this game is infamous for having absolutely awful music. The song loops about every 8 seconds as well. And that's really all there is to Onyanko TOWN. It's not hard to see ways that this game could be improved. More kittens to pick up. Not randomizing their locations. Not slowing you to a halt when you have a kitten in tow. Giving the dogs more regular behavior patterns. Having the fishmonger only last as long as you have the power-up. Designing the map with more paths and bottlenecks. And those are all just off the top of my head. It makes Onyanko Town feel like a first draft of a game. And it probably was. With 2 record labels entering Famicom publishing on the same day, we're definitely in the gold rush era of people cranking games out fast and cheap to try to cash in.